What's up, man? I wanted to talk about something. Have you ever felt like no matter what you did, especially for people who you really care about, you just always seem to be the villain? It's not that you're looking to be the victim in the matter, but you look at the patterns. No matter what may have went on, transpired, things like totally out of your control, or it could be in a situation where that person may have actually been an instigator, or life just be lifing, and somehow, some way, you are the scapegoat. I just want to talk about a story, just to inspire you, just to encourage you, to let you know that no matter what, if you know that you out here remaining faithful, trying to be committed to Christ, and you're committed to those around you, and you're leading with agape love, I just want to encourage you and just let you know to hold on, man. Hold on to the vision that God has given you. Hold on to your faith, and hold on to your heart. There may be adjustments needed. You may have to, make a shift as far as guarding your heart, but don't harden your heart. Guarding your heart may be as simple as, talking to those people and establishing new boundaries. People who are really for you, they will understand that, hey, this is not you withdrawing love. This is not you trying to manipulate a situation, but they'll understand that, hey, you love me enough that you came to me to talk to me, so there won't be any resentment, so there won't be any type of chaos or miscommunication in the future. And those who are for you, you can come with a common ground. But then there are some who may feel offended, and even then, you still lead with love. But if you notice a trend and a pattern even after you address the matter, what you will do then, you may have to create space. And I'm just going to be honest, some people who, they're not bad people, but they may be self-centered and they only see things one way. They may be highly offended and they may feel like, you're not real or you're not honest or things of that sort. But don't take offense to that. Don't take the bait. Because a lot of times, it's an internal matter within. They may be feeling low in that moment. Or you could have just, you extending a boundary may have triggered them. But just understand that, hey, you are allowed to hold your boundaries with love and, have those tough conversations. And that pretty much tells you the health of their particular relationship, whether it's with family members, with friends, or with a lover, or at work. It lets you know, like, those pain points, those areas that you may have to address, those yellow flags or even red flags. A lot of things don't become toxic because because it's a flag or a warning. It becomes toxic when we unaddress those things and we go about addressing them in a unhealthy manner. One of the worst things you can ever do to anything is atrophy by not addressing the matter. And what tends to happen then, it atrophies. The relationship erodes over time. Just like that muscle, you got to work it out. And when you don't work it out, it becomes weaker. It begins to break down. Fatigue sets in faster. So in a relationship, your communication tends to break down quicker and more often. You just start to notice that, hey, one of you guys are shutting down, you're not even trying anymore, you begin to withdraw, then that's when those other things tend to happen, more microaggressions, or even situations where, unfortunately, you find unhealthy avenues of expressing yourself. And that's like, people get caught up on those things, but that's really a branch issue because, you're not able to communicate with each other and like truly understand each other when it comes to fostering those healthy relationships and having those tough conversations. So if you ever felt like the scapegoat, like I said, there's ways to address it. Always go into the spirit. One way that, I like to pray on it, fast on it, and even get a third-party help because an objective third party who can help you to sort it out. It's not about picking sides. It's about, hey, let's get this right because I value you enough to bring this matter to you so we can get it right together. It's not about what's best for me all the time. It's about what's best for us, this relationship, friendship, or family structure. And when you are able to do that, I promise you, you will gain a newfound respect for that person. And if they're healthy, they will gain a newfound respect for you, and it'll bring you even closer. And the thing is, once you address these things, I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome if it is the right situation for you. That's the most important thing. Like making sure that, hey, are we even in alignment? Are we equally yoked? And that just means like, hey, are we on the same plane as far as do we want the same things? That's one. Do we have a similar belief system? And just because you have a similar belief system, you may have different ways of going about things. And guess what? That is not a bad thing. If you have a different way of, hammering a nail than I do, it doesn't make one way better. It may be one way is more efficient, but I should be open to at least hearing your way of doing things to see if it can work for us. Because again, it's about what works for us as the collective, more so than myself. Now, that's why it's important to have balance and self-care, because ultimately when that comes to the self-care, that's when you focus on, hey, what is best for me in this moment? Because again, this is self-care. I prioritize myself in those moments so I can be better for the collective when I am with them. And the thing that people who struggle with boundaries, they tend to be people pleasers and yes men. So when they get flustered, they lash out on those who are closer to them. So when that happens, you have to be mindful and you be like, hey, you're making me the scapegoat in your mind, but you gotta, kind of play, be proactive and say, hey, I know you had a long day. I understand that. But because you had a long day, I think you may need to rest before we continue this conversation. And, if they're receptive to that suggestion, taking a pause and coming back to that, that's awesome. But if they're not, sometimes, you may have to, again, be proactive and just take a step back and just let them know, like, hey, your tone or the things you're saying are kind of hurtful or disrespectful. I'm not comfortable having this conversation. And then you hold your boundary then. Some people, I've been in situations where it may have gotten volatile with the person. And I just had to remove myself from that. And it's okay. And, you have to be prepared, of being misunderstood. You have to be prepared. They may say things, go social media, twist or pervert the situation to make it seem like you were the aggressor or the bad one, so to speak. But you cannot allow being misunderstood change your perspective of yourself. And you always want to be mindful. Take it to God and be like, hey God, how could I have handled this situation better? Because I want to be a good steward of the people that you have provided in my life. Because again, it is not me against them. It is us against the issue at hand. Because ultimately, if you care about the relationship, you care about that person, you want it to be a collaborative effort so you can come together and tackle it together. But hey, again, if you're struggling with, communication, you feel like you're the scapegoat, and you genuinely want to make things work, take it to prayer. Ask God, hey, how can I handle this? Look up some resources to help you with conflict management, as well as, get third-party help, because that's always helpful. And hopefully the person is receptive to that. That way, you guys have an environment that facilitates healthy dialogue. And it's always great when you two could come together and actually, create that environment together, one, but also using the tools that you both are equipped with. And don't feel like you're alone. Lean on your community, but be honest with yourself, one, and be honest with your community about things that you've done, as well as, seeking ways to how you could have handled the situation better, because it's not always them, but sometimes, it is. And when it, either way it go, there's something we can always do better. It's not always about the other person. Sometimes you got to take the plank out of your own eye before addressing someone else. Pretty much take care of your wounds first, and hopefully, they will be taking care of theirs during that time of your healing and processing things of that sort. If not, get the help that you guys need to figure this out together, because again, it is not me against you, it's us against the situation. Again, my name's John Lewis. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, whenever you decide to listen to this. As always, be great.